Okay, recording this video after close trade Wednesday, the 31st of August 2016. Hope you had a great day's trading today. Well, I've been doing nothing for August trading wise, and this is the reason why. We've had no range and no volatility, and I'm hoping it'll now start to pick up. We're kind of getting into September, and today was decent in terms of range and volume. Had about 1.7 million contracts traded, but most of August and half of July we just did absolutely nothing. This is a little chart I used to calculate the ranges and divide them into three buckets: high, medium, low. This little indicator looks back the last 99 days and divides those days into three buckets: kind of the lowest third of range, the highest third of range, and then the middle third of range. The high range bar days are blue, the low range bar days are yellow, and you can see that these are the bandings. Anything below this bottom blue cyan line is low, anything above this top cyan line is large, and you can see those banding lines have just been coming down and down and down for all year basically. So we had a couple of spikes, Jackson Hole days, FOMC type days, but all of this activity at these highs up here has just been crushingly low range. And I always say, 10 points is the minimum amount of range during a day that you need in order to make a decent day trade. And today we had about 13. We've had a couple of decent bars. These are kind of average range days in here, but these are kind of nothing going on. But hopefully things will kind of pick up a little bit come September. Everybody's back at their desk, away from come back from vacation and so on. And on my daily chart of the E-mini, this is something that I'm looking at that I think is going to play in at some time soon. When we're sticking above a resistance line for any length of time, that just shows that there's no appetite to sell the market down. Sometimes these things, we break above a resistance line and then we just keep powering ahead into a nice trending move that ends with a pullback to end of trend, and then we get a kind of correction like this. But when we've just been hanging around up here just above the highs and making kind of no progress, it just means the market is still strong, but there's no appetite to kind of sell it down, and at some point we'll have a cyclical cross on beta sine wave on this daily chart. That'll play in and that'll give us some support that we can power ahead from. Don't think we're there quite yet, because let me show you the 4500 tip bar chart. This is with the multiple time frame version of the indicators using 4500 tip bar chart. So this gives me the three time frames above this, 13,000 and 40,500, so it's all on one chart. What I want you to look at here is that we've had a double bottom made. So this is the day sessions. These are the overnight sessions, these little yellow verticals. So we've had, this is today's activity: Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Friday. So Friday, big sell-off day, exhaustion, sell, bullish divergence. We've come back down again with today's activity. A whole bunch of exhaustion, sells, bullish divergence kind of comes in. Double bottom being made there. So we're trying to progress ahead. We've got blue professional bars kind of powering us through, breaking us above resistance lines into this start of an uptrend. But one of the things I look at is, we bounce between support and resistance lines, and where those bounces kind of happen are important. If we're just playing out resistance to support and we're just bouncing straight off those, the market's just kind of imbalance, if you like. As soon as we start to break a support, it just shows that we got weakness going on. This break below this support, so we bounce, 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 break of this one, and we're coming back up. This one has not turned into a strong trending move, but we will come back up to the next resistance on the highest time frame when these lines cross here, and then that will still have a little bit of weakness after that. And then we'll start to break through the next kind of bounce off a support and then break through a resistance. So it's just, I suppose it's symmetrical, if you like. As soon as we've had this sign of weakness, that's just showing the market's weak, but it's not turned into a trending move yet. We'll have to wait and see at the next resistance line to see what happens there. We'll probably have a little bit of weakness from there. So I don't think it's all over, although we've had quite a lot of selling and this bottom has held. For me, it's not totally strong in terms of the market kind of going forward. Now, before getting to the day trading charts, Just a couple of kind of global macro big picture charts. The first one is crude. Crude had a nasty day today. And I've been going on and on. The last video I did about crude was we're in a testing phase on the way down here. You can see the system view of the world had us into a downtrend all the way down here. Finally the market bottoms out. Look at all these exhaustion patterns here. So that's the exhaustion patterns at the beginning of this year where everybody's freaking out about crude. That's the kind of thing that bottoms markets, but we're in a testing phase right now. And we went into this pattern here with this, we had a strong runaway up into 50, obviously, psychologically an important kind of high. But this is being led by the amateurs. We had a Rambo pattern at the beginning of this sequence, amateur up bars, amateur up bars. The amateurs were just wrong-footed and they've kind of been taken out at the other side here. So everybody's kind of talking about crude kind of selling off and so on. Yes, it is weak. We're in a downtrend phase. We had some strength into here, but we're still making a pullback to end of trend sequence on this highest time frame, pullback to end of trend. So what I'm going to be looking for over the next days, hopefully a couple of weeks and so on, the timing of this, it's running out, pullback to support, which will be an end of trend on the crude chart, but looking for blue professional down bars. In the panic, this is the panic that was going on into 35. That's the exhaustion cells. All the blue professional bars kind of picking it up at the lows. They had a little bit of a go at it here, heading back towards 40. Let's see, we need to see blue professional down bars picking it up at those lows, and then that'll be a good kind of sign that they're in it again. They got in at 35 and have been holding, and when it comes back to 40 or so, 35, 40, they'll kind of step in again and kind of hold it again. So we're still in this testing phase in crude. And so I'm a little early on my Russia trade. It kind of raced away the last week or so, but it's kind of come back a little bit, partly because of the crude price kind of coming off at the moment here. And then the other one to note, it is not clear which way the currencies are trying to break at the moment, and that is because we are stuck in the shadow of a big blue professional bar. This, and if you look at all of your currency charts, the majors, euro, pound, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, Aussie dollar, Canadian, all of those charts, they've all got a similar pattern. This big blue professional spiky bar was Brexit. Okay, so that's when the British pound kind of sold off hard. Subsequently, it's kind of held a little bit kind of below that. But we're trying to figure out, I always say, wait to the breaks of the high and lows of those bars to figure out, what the direction is. We had a fake break here above the highs of that, and we came back, bang, and we've come back into the lows of that. And this might be a U-turn bar here where they sell it down and then immediately kind of buy it up, professional activity, bang, bang. But it's a little bit weak. We're still stuck in this range between the highs and the lows here. So I'm wary of saying which way the currency is going to break kind of next. We're in consolidation in all of those currencies. I'd like to see the dollar index kind of weaker because I think there's a lot of currencies that are starting to strengthen, particularly the commodity currencies. But we've not got a clear signal yet there from the dollar index because we're stuck in those ranges. And it's the same picture. Look at the euro chart, yen chart, Aussie dollar chart, and so on. All right, day trade for today. I'll tag it on because it was a pretty one. This is the open of today, 500 tip bar chart. Again, looking at this on the system view, the multiple time frames. You can see we broke into a downtrend, bang, 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 bang. Downtrends are not over till we get exhaustion sell. So I was short at 71 even. A little bit early, we had to sit through a little bit of kind of retrace here, but it was just amateur up bars. We had three big announcements, or fairly big announcements. We had PMI numbers, pending home sales, and then the petroleum numbers kind of coming out, and that's what caused us to go nowhere until petroleum numbers came out. There we go, blue professional up bars here, and bang, we sold off hard. I got out too early on my target at 67. I actually moved it out to 66. Got touched but didn't get taken out, so I just moved my target back to 67. But it was good. You could see the trend kind of continued down for another leg with another exhaustion cell bullish divergence and flush bottoming us there. The 11 a.m. window was right here, and so because we'd not reversed around by 11 a.m., this was kind of, I classified this as a down day. And so all that was happening during the end of the day here, yeah, a little bit of strength kind of going on there, but that wasn't a kind of classic reversal day in my mind. But after that kind of bottom being made, we broke into an uptrend here. Low risk entry points kind of here. Had to sit through a little bit of weakness here. Another low risk entry point here, but that's too late in the day to be trading. Anyway, I'll tag that one on. It was a nice, it's a one shot, one kill, but Jesus, took about an hour and a half to kind of get out of this trade. So anyway, them's the breaks. Hope your trading's going well. Okay, just got short 71 even, short 71 even. Check my stops and targets. And the reason for getting short, we're in a bit of a downtrend here. The market's just opened. We had ADP numbers earlier on. Got a few numbers coming out today. Chicago PMI, pending home sales. Not a lot of movement after that ADP number kind of came out. Anyway, so yesterday we went into a downtrend. Exhaustion sell, getting this move going, pullback to end of trend, and the exhaustion sell, then a bit of relief rally, and then we had some strength, and now this morning's open just here, broken through two supports, lowest and intermediate time frame. So just looking for kind of a way into this, and we just had blue professional bar kind of crashing through supports on the 1500. Some point we'll find support in the highest time frame with a pullback to end of trend on the 500 tip bar chart, kind of sinking up probably, and let's see if that's enough to kind of stop this downtrend. After yesterday, we're looking for another exhaustion sell signal to kind of stop this on the way down. So let's see, continuation of this downtrend. Let's see if we get to my target 67. There's the pullback gone in. That's very close to the zero line, so we've got to probably see a bigger signal flush or something. Well, still holding short. This little push up is being led by the amateurs, rainbow pattern here. On system view, we're still showing weakness. This energy should turn around at some point and force us down. So just waiting for that, but taking a little bit of heat on this. I think it's worth it though. Let's just see what happens next. That last move, Crazy Ivan move, was designed to freak you out. Turned around, nice blue professional bars falling through the lows of that. It's getting ready to get through low of the day, which is 69.5. Yep, we're at it. So it'll cause a little bit of a rush. So come on, there we go. Now target's at 67. We've had such small range days lately. It's kind of reluctant to move it up. Let's just see what it goes. I'm looking for an exhaustion sell signal kind of down here. So come on. Alright, the trailing numbers just came out a minute or two ago. That's what caused this spike and then sell off real quick. So blue professional up bars into that got broken on the downside. We've had blue professional down bar and an up bar around 1500, but no exhaustion. So we've got a 6,000 reading, but it could go 7 or 8,000 on the downside. Movement target out to 66. Just hoping this support gets broken. We kind of continue down till we get that exhaustion sell. System wise, we just had a little bit of strength here kind of going on, and then it's kind of continued down, but no exhaustion sell, no blue exhaustion dots. Let's just see if we get this one taken out. Bingo, just out 67 even, 4-4, and that's a shame. I'd moved my target out to 66, got touched Down here at 66, but didn't take me out. So we've just been playing around with this. I just thought I'd move my target in. Yeah, it's probably going to go down to 66. Never mind. Happy with 67 for it's a long trade, and it's kind of just gotten a little bit quiet. So yeah, just happy to be out. Anyway, there we go. It's probably not done on the downside because it's not gotten the end of trends. We had some here. Got an exhaustion sell, but we got to put in a bullish divergence. So there's more in it most likely, but I'm kind of done for the day. Anyway, just coming up to 9:56 a.m.